Seems like I got a sound glitch. Time to reload. Oh, there we go. Alright. So I believe we just gotten from the attic, and then we have obtained the stairwell key, and now we're gonna figure out what's in the basement here. Oh.
I need the key.
Is it Jeremy?
Radiography. Patient Jeremy Hartwood. Date June 14, 1930. Plates. Jeremy's skull proved difficult to capture properly. Partial radiographs worked best. A complete picture of the brain can be assembled by piecing 3 plates together. Observations. Even when looking at an assembled version, a shadow covers significant parts of Jeremy's brain. Possible tumor, but more likely that the equipment is failing. Jeremy reacted strongly to the pictures and claimed to see a giant clay worm eating and displacing his memories. Notes. While this exercise has left me nowhere closer to an answer, I feel confident that a Burkhardt lobotomy should sever all necessary parts.
Man, they better not. Leave them alone.
Hypothetical psychosurgery based on the ideas by Burkhardt and the St. Petersburg research could end up saving Jeremy's mind. Severing the connections around the frontal lobe would certainly solve most mental afflictions. The procedure would be brutal in performance, as well as in efficiency. An ice pick pushed through the edge of the eye and into the skull would untether the nerves like Alexander cutting the Gordian knot. As this would likely leave Jeremy in a very different condition, all other paths should first be explored.
It is Jeremy. Oh, it's just a tape. Okay. It's very worrisome.
Don't mind if I do.
Was that just the door, or? That was the simplest puzzle in this game.
That's better.
Shaping them. stick this. There we go. Oh. I feel like I'm about to get jump scared. There's not much here. Oh, great. Need another memory. Under.
Why does this keep happening? What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to run, big dog. In the water's just like that.
And we're back here. Well, perfect time to have a look around this place. What is that?
Six, 4, 1. Oh man, it's pretty drastic. Straight into okay. This is for the one lady, Beauregard. Is the door gonna take us somewhere? Looks like it already has. No.
Jeremy's hiding, right?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jeremy?
I need help!
Wait! Can you hear me?
I'm stuck in the mud and the fire is taking
Jeremy.
me.
Where are you?
The motor is dead. I can't do anything more.
Hang on, Jeremy. I'll figure something out. I'll get the boat running.
Jeremy was calling out for help, but Combi couldn't figure out where the voice was coming from. For a moment, Combi wondered if the boat itself was Jeremy, or if he was below it somehow. It didn't matter right now. Jeremy was clear on one thing. He wanted Combi to get the steamboat running and out of the mud.
Use this. I haven't used the Chicago typewriter. Or the Thompson, however you want to call it. All this stuff is below me. Ooh. Wow. Why'd I dodge that word? Getting beat to smithereens by this thing. Am I dead? Is it not going to? Holy smokes, that dude is invincible. He just run away? That man broke my only health potion. Thank you.
The boat's wedged itself right into the bayou. If I get the motor started, I could try reversing back into the river.
Is there like a ladder or something in there? It's the latch. Man, hopefully those little creatures aren't that. I don't know why that man took so many hits. I didn't even check the ceiling. It's most likely how I get it. We got here. Alright, we'll focus on clearing up this top area first. sledgehammer.
Looks pretty weak. I just need...
I'm going to wait before going down there. We'll go jump down that hole in the front. Not down.
The artist spent a lot of time boating on the vast Lake Pontchartrain. Poetry, painting, photography, everything seemed to become better by the shimmering water and the opalescent sky. One night, as the sailors returned to Darceto, they found a masquerade ball taking place. It must have been Perosi and Nora who invited their friends from the theater. The sailors quickly fashioned masks out of plaster of Paris and joined the festivities. They enjoyed themselves for hours before realizing time was not passing. Nor could they find their friends. As they began to worry, they demanded that the guests unmasked. But they could not, because they were not wearing any masks.
Dang. What was the point in coming here getting that? Alright, now we'll take the boat down and see what that goes to. Seems really good looking.
The winch is powered by electricity. I need to
guess
find a way to turn it on before I can use it.
Oops. Oh no, did that just... Game, don't make me take back what I just said. Guess we're gonna have to reload them. Oh, okay, thankfully. No. They didn't even change the sound, it still sounds like I'm walking on a metal. Unless that's part of it. I mean...
This definitely needs fuel.
Oh man. And see you. Let's get off vitamin. Grab a new axe or hatchet. Or not. Pristine. This game's got no issues. A lot of clipping. Guys are going the wrong way. In the water. It's the other side of the engine. Hippers. All these noises, man.
Whoa!
I'll try. Are you ready to tell me what happened in the attic? I put a rope around my neck, and then I strangled all life from my body. Are you under the impression that you died? Yes. No. I was supposed to die. What does that mean? That you were supposed to die? I'm the catalyst. I had to die to make the story happen.
What story? What are you referring to, Jeremy?
30 years ago, Frederic needed me to die.
You're not making any sense, Jeremy. Find
About
your
time.
focus.
Hey!
I cheated everyone. I didn't play my part.
Hey!
I escaped
Hey!
my doom, my destiny.
Again, find
Hey!
your focus.
Hey, I'm right here. What the hell is going on?
Now everything is wrong. Nothing is in
Hey!
place.
I'm right here!
Calm down, Mr. Conby. What do you want?
Were you not talking to Jeremy right now?
I haven't seen Jeremy all day. Are you all right, Detective?
No. Actually, I don't think so. Well, maybe. I'm gonna go look for Jeremy.
Good. Let me know if you find him.
This game gets crazier and crazier every single time.
That was Jeremy's self-deceit? A steamboat stuck in the mud? I'm not gonna pretend I understand any of that. A bunch of psychoanalytic nonsense.
Jeremy was calling out for help, but Conby entered some new mucky dreamland of Jeremy's, a long-abandoned steamboat aground.
So, an offering.
Jeremy was
Is he not in this room anymore? All these notes. Are we writing stuff down? I've been waiting for the voodoo lady to say something. There's another one. What's different?
It wasn't clear to Detective Conby that he had actually accomplished anything, but he had the distinct feeling that he was making progress. The steamboat must have been what the self-deceit was referring to, and clearly the business with Grace was psychological trauma. Out of the 3 steps on the dog man's contract, only one thing seemed to remain: temper-manic behavior. Conby was getting sick of guessing. It was time to pay Dr. Gray a visit in his apartment. It wasn't clear to Detective Conby that he had It wasn't the steamboat was a hideaway that Jeremy
mine
has
always
built
are out of-
over the
unless I
last few
somehow managed to-
days. Having seen his memories extracted and expanded into physical realms by the dog man, his unconscious mind had decided to take the chance that Jeremy could manifest a world in secret. A world that wasn't sanctioned by the dog man. Deploying his own self-deceit as a gambit against his dog master. McCarthy was a deadbeat. His mere presence annoyed Conby. It was like watching the worst version of himself mock him by simply being worthless. While Conby enjoyed watching the child outplay the drunkard, there was something terrifyingly familiar about Grace. It was taunting him, like he was supposed to remember, but couldn't.
Alright, we'll go to the tree. Or not. Everything's locked now. Is that us? I don't know. No, we'll go talk to him if it lets us. What is that?
Detective, am I glad to see you? Lock the door, will you? I don't think Dr. Gray would appreciate us snooping around.
What's going on here? This feels so strange.
Detective Conby felt removed from himself. Like driving drunk, he carefully tried to navigate his environment. What the hell was going on? Was he finally losing his mind? At least Emily was here to call the police if he went off the deep end.
No, not this camera angle, bro.
There's a book missing.
What did you do?
I was
What
just
didn't you do?
rearranging the books.
Well, come on, let's check it out.
No.
Hey,
Some Shakespeare.
I think I'm beginning to understand. Dr. Gray is dealing with some kind of mass delusion.
No. Thank you.
has that been there this whole time?
Oh my god. Why is it so impossible to navigate? What's this?
What were you saying about mass delusion?
Derceto seems to have a deranging effect on people living close by. It has a history of creating cults devoted to some nature goddess. Even the name Derceto refers to the cult existing here before the Civil War. Derceto was the name of an ancient fertility goddess worshipped in Syria. Dr. Gray and his friends, however, seem to prefer the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, or Shub-Nigroth. And that name can only have come from my uncle's twisted mind.
That mark on the floor looks like talisman.
The Snake Dagger, a monograph by Yael Klein. In Ludwig Prin's book on pagan rituals called The Mystery of the Grave, as translated by Nicholas Vachy, there are several references to a sacrificial dagger called the Snake Dagger. It has long been thought of as a poor translation of the original text, that it would be more appropriate with worm dagger from the Latin vermis cultrum. This seems natural following the recent consensus that the original title of Prin's book, De Vermis Mysteris, should literally translate to the mystery of the worm. However, this would take away from Vachy's great effort at translating the underlying meaning of the words and revealing several cultural beliefs. While Prin certainly was using the term worm as a symbol or synecdoche for death and the dead, which is made clear by the contents of the book, in the case of the dagger, we shouldn't be too hasty to dismiss his translation. Reading through Vachy's correspondence with his patron, it appears that he had more than just the Latin text at his disposal. Vachy had dug up Prin's living relatives and uncovered several cross-referenced historical texts and an actual snake dagger. The dagger was dated to the early Middle Kingdom of Egypt and had such a clear shape of a wave that Vahi considered calling it the sinusoidal blade. Knowing the full story, it seems prudent that he chose to translate it as snake and not worm. There are several reasons why this choice of word helps us understand the pagans that Prin's book attempts to describe. The symbolic value of the shape becomes more apparent when reading about the use for the dagger. In the passage of possession and exorcism, we find the snake dagger poisons the poisoner within the victim and is therefore pacified. Where the literal text would tell us that the worm dagger trumps the demon possessing the victim, it tells us nothing of their reasoning. Only that somehow this dagger wins against the demon, like it had the better hand in poker. Vahi's translation allows us to follow the underlying logic to the ritual magic that is being performed. Poison the poisoner sounds like fighting fire with fire. That to hurt the demon possessing its victim, the priests would have to fight back with a power that is known to the evil they are fighting. The snake dagger is therefore not only a good way to describe its form, but it also helps us understand how it could be thought of as a useful tool for exorcism. Finally, it also helps us understand their relationship to lunacy, that it was thought of as something poisoning the mind rather than controlling it. What is also interesting to note is that the possessed are always considered poisoned in their head and not their heart. The snake dagger always went to the eye of the possessed, leaving them partially blind, if they had the good luck to survive.
Positions, but from which direction should I look at?
Good to finally meet you, Mr. Hartwood. I'm here on the behalf of your brother Philip. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Yes, you're from the Citadel, no?
That's right. I just wanted to ask you a few questions to see if there is anything I can do to help you and your family.
Okay.
I understand you're full of imagination. You make up a lot of things.
I suppose.
And you obsess over them, blurring reality and fiction.
Sometimes.
Do you want to tell me about the Dark Man?
No, I don't.
That's all right. Perhaps there is something else you can tell me. Something you know to be made up, but you hold dear.
Juan?
John? Who's John?
No, Juan Luis Jorge. Oh, wait there a moment. Here, take a look.
Is he... Oh, he is the author.
It's a magnificent book. Life-changing even. The real Juan is long dead, but I like to think of him as my friend. My most beloved friend.
I see. Do you often do this? Fantasize about people you read about?
No. Well, there is Jacob.
Who is Jacob?
Turn to the last page.
Did I skip that or what?
It's a magnificent book. Life-changing even. The real Juan is long dead, but I like to think of him as my friend. My most beloved friend.
I see. Do you often do this? Fantasize about people you read about?
No. Well, there is Jacob.
Who is Jacob?
Turn to the last page.
Oh, it's a newspaper article. The Prisoner of Ice, Jacob van Ostad. Is he also your beloved friend?
Oh, no, Doctor. Not at all. He is the fire that fights fire.
Yes, I think it's clear your overstimulated imagination, this mania, needs to be tempered for you to live a normal life. I know your family calls it the Heartwood Curse, but I want you to know that there is nothing supernatural about your condition. It's all inside your head. And with that, I'm very qualified to deal with. In time, you will be cured.
In time. In time.
Yes, in time we will exorcise all your demons, all the dark men. Please, Mr. Heartwood, calm yourself.
What happened?
Oh, don't you worry your little head about it, Miss Heartwood. Your uncle and I just had our first breakthrough.
I mean, we obviously wouldn't answer his phone. Or we?
Hello?
Detective Conby?
Who is this? Jeremy?
Jeremy is with the Dark Man. You can't save him.
Well, I've done everything you wanted so far, and there's just one more thing on the list. I expect him to keep his promise and return Jeremy unharmed.
Get out, Detective. While you still can.
Detective Conby wanted nothing more than to make sense of it all. But clearly, that was not in the cards right now.
No, I figured this one out. Let's see. Quasa Luna Fantasia. Okay.
You think all of them are in this cult business? Even Jeremy?
I'm not sure any of them have a choice at this point. We just need to find a way to stop all of this. You okay? You look a little frazzled.
Just stupid telephone.
I know, I tried calling the police earlier. The telephone is completely dead.
It's not... Yeah, no, the telephone isn't working.
You want to tell her about that?
Miss Hartwood, I think you're gonna want to see this.
Is there something in the closet?
Yeah, there is. You don't see the very obvious gate leading to whatever Jeremy's madness is serving up next?
I don't understand. Are you making some kind of fashion metaphor? I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Can you just tell me what you're doing?
You don't see this. It's fine. It's fine. Catch you later.
Are you going inside the closet?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No. Do what you think is right, detective.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Goodbye, Miss Hartwood.
So what does that look like to her?
Disheartened by his failure to make Emily understand what he was doing, Detective Conby actually felt better seeing the frozen hell before him. There was a finality to it. Its clear symbolic opposite to the dark man's desert made him realize this was the end. Soon it would all be over. Detective Conby was worried Emily could tell, that she could see the madness written on his face. But what if he was the only one seeing the truth? Could that still be the case? If only he could find evidence that would make her understand that he had seen beyond the veil, or at least something that would show her he was worth the money she was paying him.
Sure. So really, she really seen nothing, huh?
We found the ancient stellarium perched on a cliff facing the Arctic Ocean after a day of sailing due north of the Eskimo encampment. Jacob van Oostad was our most keen member of the expedition. He had been chasing down the source of a peculiar type of crystallized metal present in several sacred items among the natives on the northeast coast of Greenland. The site was a remarkable find for any explorer, and we were all enraptured in our search for enlightenment and meaning. The surviving architecture seemed almost unearthly in origin and astonishingly sophisticated. The metal Jacob was searching for was abundant, almost ubiquitous. We were so taken by our find that we were surprised by the sun falling below the horizon. As we quickly picked up our gear, ready to head back to our camp, Jacob van Oostad declared that he wanted to stay. He was adamant. We begged him to reconsider. The night would be getting colder by the hour, and we feared for all our safety. Jacob refused, threatening us with violence if we wouldn't leave him alone. As the snowfall turned heavier, we left him there on his own. The next day, the weather became worse, and we had to spend hours enforcing our shelter as our tents became increasingly useless. The group had written off Jacob, thinking he must be dead. I had an urge to make one final attempt to save him, so I headed out as darkness fell with a handful of flares and headed toward the coast and up the climb towards the Stellarium. That's when I saw him, transfixed by a burning sky, that celestial lantern. Jacob keeled over and let out a painful shriek that struck me with such fear and pity. He was crying in agony, for the cold weather had ravaged his flesh. I called out to him, and he turned to face me. His vacant stare held me in place like a needle through a butterfly, and he said, "You must leave now, Heshtan. Go, and never come back." And so I left.
Well, that didn't go far. Well, that went pretty far. What's that? Friggin' Starkey.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? What is this place?
Turn back, detective. You're not wanted here.
Whoa, take it easy. I'm not your enemy.
Oh, you're wrong, detective. You're wrong.
Hey now, man. Chill. Bro's fast. Oh no.
figured you wouldn't want your stars aligned, Jeremy, or maybe that is what you need to temper that mania of yours.
Is that it?
For God's sake, stay dead, will you?
What the heck, I can't shoot. This. Not cool. Oh my god, he's so fast. That is terrifying. So smack him with shotgun times.
Jeremy?
I did everything! Aren't you happy? Stupid charlatan! What more do you want from me? You want me to lose my mind?
Oh, my lord! Doctor! Baptiste! Quick!
Who is that?
Jesus. What were you thinking, compadre?
Bro, what is going on?
You awake? You are awake. Mr. Conby's up.
Hey, buddy! I thought you'd be knocked out for the rest of the night. Come on out and join us, will you? I'll save you some gumbo.
Good to have you back. You gave us all a good scare.
What happened?
You had a psychological breakdown. Sorry for manhandling you, but you were being violent, you see.
You stabbed Jeremy and then punched Dr. Gray.
Are they okay?
Jeremy's a little strange, but everything's back to normal.
Really?
All thanks to you, Combat. You want to try standing up?
Oh boy.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the day. How are you feeling, Detective?
Never better. How about you two? Hey, Jeremy, I didn't do too much damage, did I?
Things are fine. Very quiet.
What's up with him? Painkillers?
No. You see, despite you having the finesse of a one-eyed butcher, you managed to lobotomize dear Jeremy.
I did what?
It's actually quite impressive. It's not like I hadn't considered it myself. I just wish Jeremy could have been helped without reducing his personality to that of an oyster.
But he's gonna live.
Of course. As long as someone keeps feeding him, he'll outlive the best of us.
Everything was back to normal. Did any of it really happen? What had Conby actually been doing all night?
Does Emily know about Jeremy's condition?
Yes. She seems to be handling it quite well under the circumstances.
Hey, Ruth. Glad to see you made it back to Derceto.
You too, Detective. Make sure to stay for the festivities. It's no Mardi Gras, but it ain't bad.
Good to see you back on your feet, Detective. Have some gumbo.
Thanks. I'll save it for later. What are you looking for?
Just keeping an eye out for the storm. Radio says it could be a wild one.
That is one impressive tree.
More impressive than you could ever imagine.
All right, tell me, what the hell's about to happen here?
Every year we have a little turn the page ceremony by the tree. It's symbolical. It's like life has its cycles of grief and happiness. You know? Just like a tree facing the seasons. Things change, but remain the same.
Everyone knows what to do? Y'all know the new words.
Mrs. Thompson, we talked about this. I'm not sure everyone is comfortable.
Doctor, I insist. This is important. We've waited for so long, Doctor.
Let's just go with the old song. Not every change is an improvement.
Boss, good or bad, we need to move forward. All in, Doc. Let's bet it all.
But we don't know what we're dealing with.
It'll be okay, Doctor. Better even.
Hell, there are praises in abundance to the Black Goat of the Woods. Hear us, brother. Take pity on us. Take pity on us.
Ever there praises and abundance to the Black Goat of the Woods. On us.
Hear us, Mother,
and take pity on us. Take pity on us.
And take pity.
Ever there's praise and abundance to the Black Goat of the Woods. Hear us, Mother, and take pity on us.
Accept
our
sacrifice and judge Stop! Are you crazy?
This here's what needs to happen, Carpet.
Grace, stop!
Shoot the ground! Shoot the ground! The Black Goat of the Woods!
Stop in the ground! Stop! Detective, get my uncle out of here!
Jeremy, come with me!
What are we doing?
Get over here! Jeremy, come with me! Jeremy, come here!
No! There has to be a sacrifice!
We're
Jeremy! Come on.
Whoa.
Detective Conby returned just as the festivities were about to begin. Emily was grateful that she didn't have to sit through whatever ceremony the people at Derceto had fashioned. Instead, they excused themselves and made their way to the front side of the house. With a tremendous sense of relief, Emily climbed into the car. She watched Conby ready the back seat for Jeremy in the rearview mirror. What a long night, she thought. Thank God it's all over.
This is taking a crazy turn.
I can't let that monster leave Derceto. I have to stop it.
Where we going? Maybe. This is absolutely wild, that's all I gotta say. I don't know what just happened. So by the bottom position of Jeremy, we see
Detective!
Oh, what the hell was that?
I tried to tell you. There was so much evidence. Their devotion to the Black Goat was like nothing I've ever seen before. I felt so dumb believing any of it, but I'm glad I did.
Are you okay?
Everything is out of order. This isn't the way the story goes. I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome, buddy.
How are you doing, sweetie?
I kinda like it. You ruined everything, but I'm not mad.
All right, you ready to head back to New Orleans?
Come on, Jeremy. We're leaving.
Can I come?
I thought you said you didn't need saving.
Don't leave her. She's important.
Of course we're taking her with us.
Yay, I'm important.
That was what is is there what?
All our good intentions aside, whereupon we build a bright, sunless solitude, fall on us as corrupting light. Prophets of confidence always crashes all upside. Hear me, for we all bear His mark. Thus we must remain alone in the dark.
Wow. That was something. Alright, I'm gonna take a break up here and then we'll play something else.